last week we finished from this particular thing, okay, this one. So we kind of done what I'm giving a navigate, giving I enter email, and the form is submitted, something like that. We have the closing there. So so let's go and let's try to run this test first and see what it does basically. So I'm going to run it, but put a breakpoint just to be sure that it's fine. So that will step. Okay, so I think value form parameter. So not that one. Not that one. Okay, let me try to rebuild. So coming in now. So yeah, so this is the one that we just put the breakpoint on. Let's try to run it and see what that does. So that is the one. So this is not the test I'm looking for. I think this will not actually do any validation. So I'm going to just finish that one. I think this one form validation and see what this one would do. Let me just finish. Okay, I think so. This one would actually do something. So let me just pull debug that one. So that is I'm expecting that comment. Push that one. So, okay, there's nothing in there. So apparently, even the submit button is not actually clicked. So I'm saying there's some button. So maybe we're going to validate that quickly. So for instance, now when I click somewhere, I have this basically. So maybe we'll try to just so to see, yeah, when I click on this and I don't have all the form submitted, the first thing I need to do is I need to inspect the elements as we've done. To inspect the elements. So I would, let me just finish that. Okay, so if I go into now, I'll start by going to my page object because that's what we need to. First thing, go to your page object, right? So, and I've got this form. So I want to add my submit button to this form. So my submit button is element rather. So for my driver dot an element. So how many needs to say I'm using IDE. So then what's the ID for that submit button? This is the ID. So I'm going to copy the ID. So I'll put the ID here. And so with this, I've been able to identify my submit button. So what do I want to do on the submit button? I want to click. So I would create my method to click void. Click on submit. So then this is the method now to click on submit basically. So what do I need to do now? I need to now click on this I've been able to find. So I'm going to say submit is that dot because that's what I want. So I'm button. So what is the next step now? Because this particular page object will not do anything because it's not my step definition. So because my step definition is what my feature file is going to call. This is my step definition. So I need to go, it is my feature file rather. So I need to go into my step definition and call that particular page object. So I've already got this page, which I think is where the new one I've added is stored. So I'm going to just copy that instance of that page object and I'll put it in my submit step. Dot then I'll call that what did I call it? Click on submit. That's it. So that should click on the submit button for me. So let's see how that works. I'm going to put a breakpoint here. And I'm going to debug. So what do I need to do now? I just click on step over, just to click. So as you can see, so I'm expecting my submit to have been clicked yet. So and I've got this particular error message now. So but So what I want to do now is to validate this error message. So for what, okay, so let me stop this one. So now I need to validate this error message, but I would want to create a new feature file basically for this particular test that I'm doing right now. And I'll call that a negative test basically. So let me go into the feature file that I'm working on. Where's that? No, this one. Okay. All right. Let's start from here. Okay. So now, okay, this is the step. So, but I want to create another scenario for this test, basically. So, I want to create this scenario and call it invalid form submission because that's what I want to do. So, because in this form now, I'm not going to be submitting all these things, so that eventually when I click on the submit button, I get that error message basically. So when I do this and I'm not filling the full form, so when I don't fill the full form, then I get this message, and the message I get is it, and then the message. So I need to go in there, copy that message. This message I'm expecting. So I'm going to change this to I get error message specifically. So now what as you've seen before, this is now purple. It means that I don't have a step definition for this step. So what I'm going to do is to myself for that particular feature step, and say, okay, yeah, let me copy that. I'm going to put in my step definition. So let's say I put it in this particular step definition. So I put it in this step definition. So now what do I need to do? I need to now validate that I can see this error message basically. So what do I need to do? I need to get page object for this error message. So page object you insert, right? So I insert that row. So let's see when that error is. Okay. So when I start this for me. So I can see there's nothing. So what I cannot do that. So I can say, let me try this selector, and copy the selector. I can do Control F just to be sure that my selector is okay. So I just pasted that into that. That is the selector, and you can see it's highlighting this for me, and also it's highlighting that. So that is the selector that I need, so I can copy that. I can use that in my page object. So if I go into my page object to this, so I can now say iWeb elements, then message is equal to data dot find by the source selector is what I've copied. So that's a selector. So that's my object that I've just selected. Yeah. So that's my element for error message. So what do I need to do now? I need to now validate that this message is displayed. To do that, you're going to create a method the same way. So there are two ways to do this. So you're going to okay. So there are two ways to do that. I'm going to say, so because we're going to do the validation inside this step. So, but this should return a true loss basically, because what you are trying to do is you are trying to validate this. So, but I would ask you to return a true or a false based on that, or to return a web element if it's displayed or not. So that's another thing. So, but you can as well, I can also, there are two different ways I can actually say, okay, I want this particular element to be returned. I want this particular text to be returned to my step definition. So if I want the text to be returned so I can validate the step, I will say return string. So what is a string? Okay, let me just make it simple right now. I'm going to do this step again. So, but for people that are not used to return string or something, so I'm going to do the validation inside the page object. And I'll show you how you can do that. Then later, I would now do the validation in my step definition. So let's try to say, okay, I am not used to validating in my step definition. So let me do the validation inside my page object. Okay, void. So, and I'm not returning anything, so I'm going to say check error message. So if I want to check the error message, I need to get this basically. So I'm going to say error. This is our error message basically. So our error message, what do we need to do to our error message? So we want to, of course, we are not clicking. We are not saying anything. We want to be able to check if it is displayed. And that is one way. So is that error message displayed? That is one. So if the error message is displayed, it's going to return true or false. But that is not what we're looking for, sorry. So it's going to return true or false. But then you can now validate error message, basically. You can validate and say, so let's say we want to assert now. So we want to use NUnit Assertion. So now we're going to say assert dot. So but assert dot is an NUnit. So we're going to bring NUnit framework inside. So assert what we're going to say. So now we say dot. So we're going to say assert is true. So what is true? So we want to validate if that message is displayed. So if the message is displayed, this will be true. So that's what we are saying. That is one way. Assert, I can say check error message is displayed. Okay, so this is one way to do this, and you're actually asserting inside the page object. I won't even advise that, but just to make it simple, if you are not used to calling a method or validating or returning string, so you can do this and just assert in your page object basically. But this is not the recommended way to do it. So if you have done it this way, even though it's badly done, you would just set definition. And this is where right now you want to assert that error message. So you call your page object and you would dot check error message is displayed. So that would actually cause that error message displayed, and if no error message is displayed, then it's going to throw an exception. Let's try to run that. Let's put our breakpoint here and run. Okay, let me see why I don't like having error messages in there. Okay, I'm going to resolve this later. That's it. Okay. So I think I'm actually running a wrong one. So that's not what I should. Okay, so that's not the right test I should run. So yeah, this one is the right one. So, but I need to, because this particular scenario is not yet in the test explorer, so I need to do a clean build, and maybe that should also resolve that error. So yeah, I need to look into whether it's coming back with error. So I could not find a reference. Okay, so this is the issue. So this is saying Chrome driver is denied. So I'm going to stop all this Chrome because I've got some debugging that was not already terminated. So my Chrome driver is hanging, so I can't rebuild. So it's not still allowing me to do that. So if you see issues like this and your Chrome driver is denied, I said last week, so you go into your task manager and you look for the Chrome driver is there. So I can kill it. I got you in there. You can kill that process. You can filter. Okay. So if I build my solution now, clean build, I should see that, yeah. So that's what I'm expecting. So just show clean and then build. Okay, cool. So, and I'm expecting to, where is that? Not this one, not this one. Okay, sorry, it's this one. Yeah. So I'm expecting invalid form submission. Where's that? Yeah, this one. Invalid. So that is the one I want to run. So if I put my breakpoint here, so I say debug. Okay, so and I'm going to say it's yet to be submitted. So and there is no error message. So I'm going to submit right now. Okay, so that is submitted and it's got error message because there's some elements that did not fill in. So if I go into that step, right click and say, now say step into F11, and step into F11, step into F11. So at this point, it's going to go and check the display. Then I say step over, step over. So I think that passed actually. So that, so continue. So I can say continue. So you can see my test passed. So which is fine. To make is a good practice to make your test to fail, basically. So that you know that it's actually doing something. So for instance, if I don't submit if I don't click on submit, then I don't expect to see the message. So if I run the test now, I'm expecting it to fail because this particular error, the error message will not be displayed. So it is a good practice to make sure your test also is able to fail, and you know that is doing something too. Yeah, so that's what I'm expecting, because then when it fails, I go into my report. So if you scroll down, you will see the output. Say no such element present, so unable to locate it. Of course, it's not, because the element will not going to be there because I did not click on the submit button. So that is the reason that the element is not there actually. So if you want to know where that fails, you start from basically, and you can click on this. That highlights the point that it fails, because that's the point. And if you go up a bit into the next one that is hyperlinked, you click on that, it goes into that method that actually failed. You can see that is the method that failed. And you can go a step over it. As you can see, that is where the assertion is. So that's how to kind of see step by step where it's when you go a failed test to see to debug where it fails. You go into the first link, and it's going to show you the feature file. You go into the next one, you go into the next one, and if you go into this one, other thing, this is because this is going to take you to NUnit Assertion. You don't need this one basically, and it's not even clickable, which is good. So this is where you want, because this is where your assertion is. That, like I said, this is one way of doing it. I'm going to now go forward to make it a bit advanced. And now I'm not going to use the page object. I'm going to do my assertion inside my step. I want to bring the assertion here, basically. Inside, I've done this one in the page object, but I want to bring another one here. So, but this one, I want to validate I want to do something more. I want to do something more clever. So I want to actually see, is this particular text, is this error message, is that what I'm actually getting? That's what I need to validate now. So, and I go in there and I say, so as you know, this string is being passed as a parameter here. Like I said, I can change this to error message. So let's just say error message. So now what I need to do now in my step, that's where I want to do the validation. But before then, I need to go into my page object and write the method. So I'll go into my page object. So, and I'll write another method. I've got my error elements that are already declared. So I'm going to create another method. I'll call this method get. text for error. So this method is only going to return the text. But however, because it's returning something, this is not going to be void. It has to return something. So when it says void, it's not returning anything. It's just going to do something and that's it. But now I'm going to return the text, and the text is a string. So I'm going to say public string. So now she's going to ask me, oh, this is not good. I'm saying I should return something, but you are not actually giving me something to return. So I'm going to say, okay, I'm getting there. Okay, I need you to return something for me. So what is it going to return? Error message. Well, error message is a web element, but what part of the error message is it returning? It's going to return the text. So it's going to return the text that that particular element has got. So this is how to do it. Right? So I'm not doing assertion here. I'm only returning this. So the same way, if I'm going to do the same thing here, I will do public. Instead of returning, I will return a boolean. I say return boolean, and I would now say return error message dot display. So that's another way to do this. But then you go into your step definition, and then you would do your assertion from here. So I'll say the same thing that I've done in my page object before, assert. So now I need to add the NUnit. So dot. So this time around, I want to ensure that it is equal. So because I need to validate this error message here that is coming from my feature file with the one on the page object on the here. So I can say are equal. What is equal? As you can see, it's saying what's my expected and what is my actual. Expected is what I have in my error message, so which is error message. And what is the actual? The actual is what I will call for my page object. Dot get text for error. So this is how to do this basically. Let me close this one. So now I'm saying that is this error message equal to what the web page is giving to me? The web page is going to go and it's going to look for the error, and then I can compare that error with what is on my feature file. That is how to do it. If I also want to do it from here, the one I did before, I'll do the same thing, assert dot true, then I'll call that page object from that one. But I didn't do that, so I did a different method here, and I did a different method here. So basically, depending on which one you want to do. So even if you have two steps, you can split this one into two steps. Put this one in one step, put another one in one step. Basically, what I'm saying is like you can say given error message is displayed. That would be one step. Sorry, as I said, given, then error message is displayed, and the error message is this basically. So you can split it into two methods. But one thing that is so obvious is, technically, you don't need this particular step, because if this step is there, that will validate that technically that message is displayed, because it's going to validate the text anyway. So let's see what that would do for us. So, and let's run the steps. So I need the submit button enabled. So let me save and run it. Let's put it in. Okay, so as you can see now that passed because, so let's put the breakpoints here. I think we got breakpoints. So let's try to see it even if it fails. So I'll just put 1 here. So I'm going to save my test, build. Now I would put a breakpoint in there. Okay, so then let's debug it. Okay, so I'm like this breakpoint. Okay, now let's step into the step and step over that passed, which is okay. And let's see what happens there. So that failed because as you can see what it's saying that expected length is 51 and it's finding 50 because now I've got 1. So you can see what's coming. What is coming from my feature file is please correct error before submitting this form 1. But what we are actually getting as our error message is this. So it doesn't actually equal to each other. So that's what it's because our assertion said they should be equal, but they're not equal now. So that's why it's writing an error message. So which I think is fine because we just use that to validate that our test is actually doing something that we want it to do. So I'm going to correct that. Then I'm going to run any question. So okay, so that is fine. So that is what I am expecting to get. So and now as there's no question, I'm going to do another quick one, assertion, using another form of assertion. So now, which is Fluent Assertion. So I'm going to do Fluent Assertion. So I'll go into my page object and I'll want to return something. Again to my page object. So now in my page object, I want to do something a bit clever. I want to say that okay. So I want to return string also. I want to return the page title of the page that we are on, basically. So to return the page title, I'm going to say get page title. So I'm going to return page title. So how do we do that? Say return. What is it going to return? It's going to return. Okay, I'm going to be a bit clever also. Yeah. So another thing to do is here. So it's another way to write this particular method that I've written here in the method. So which we've been using. So sometimes go step by step to be sure everyone understands. So I'm going to write this in a new way. Okay, just quick 1 minute. So I think I will write it first. And I say return. So what am I returning? I'm returning the driver, the title. So that will return the title of the website that we are on, that particular page. So this is one way to do it. So but another way I want to do this is to say, I'm going to comment this one out now. Comment out. I'm going to write it again in a different way. So I'm going to say publish get 7. So what's mine? So you can also return the URL and see something like that. So let's say we just try that both of them. Let's okay. So we can also do that and say, let's say string, I want to return the URL get page URL. So this one. So I can go into my step definition. Let's say I create another one, another feature, another step for this now. So let's say I'm gonna say and my the page URL is www.bluesky. So I just want to balance that will fail because that we just want to confirm that the page that we are on equals to that HTTP. Let's see for now. So and I'm passing this as a parameter, so that's another way to do it. So and I would go and say go to step definition, copy that, and go into my step and paste that. So I want to paste this one here. So if I paste that, I want to change this one to URL. Alright. So I want to say, I want to call that particular method that I've created. I want to say assert dot. So now I want to say they are equal. What is equal? Your URL with that particular page object method. What's going to return for us? Get URL, right? Get URL. Same thing for the text also. So another thing to do also, I said I'm going to do it in a different assertion. So I'm going to use Fluent Assertion now. We've been using NUnit Assertion, so I'm going to use Fluent Assertion. So for Fluent Assertion, I will say this one, this URL. I'm going to say URL. Okay, before I do that, I need the non-page Fluent Assertion. I want to say add method and Fluent Assertion. Let's go into the browse. So I want to add the Fluent Assertion. Install. So that's if you need to use Fluent Assertion, so you need to add it and you can be able to use it. So think was this error message. Let me review my step again. Okay, that's fine. So everything is okay. So all right, cool. So now let me go back to my step. So now to use Fluent Assertion here, so what I need to do is to say URL. So that's what I want to assert dot should. So and because I'm using a Fluent Assertion, I'm going to bring in the namespace. So you can see using Fluent Assertion. So what should it be? Should be what? So I'm gonna say it should be this basically. So these two steps are actually the same, but I'm using different way to actually do that. This is with NUnit. This is with NUnit, and this one is using Fluent Assertion. So depending on which one, see, that's fine. So, and if you are going to, you can also use MSS, maybe .SQL or something like that. So that's it. So, so we can run the test. Okay, I'm expecting that to fail. Yeah. So because it's going to fail because my page will not be equal to this basically. The page is on. Let's put a breakpoint here and quickly check that. So okay, all right. So let's continue. So okay, let's see from here. So you can see so that is the URL. So which is totally different from what I've supplied, right? So it's different. So you expect that to fail basically. So as you can see, it's saying that, and it's going to you can, yeah. So I think that's better. So, okay. So as you can see, it's saying that I'm expecting that, but I'm actually seeing this. So which is really, really good. So yeah, I'm expecting to get this one, but this is what I found. So if I change my feature file to that, then you should expect it to pass. Okay, cool. It's not passing. That is brilliant. So let's debug it and see. Or maybe because I've not saved it. I saved it. Okay. Let's see why it's not passing. Debug. Oh, okay. I think we can actually check from here, but it's already late. Oh, okay. I think I've seen it. This is double. There should be one. So let's see the purpose. we go into step into, and we go in there. Is it displayed? Yes, it's displayed. So let's step into that one also. So it's returning that. So and that message one. Okay. So as you can see, saying that I'm expecting double core because that's so well, I'm getting that. So that's the issue that I have. So with that's an error. So I need to. So I've got double. Yeah, that's. Okay. All right. That's it for now. So there are different things that you can actually assert. So like on this page, you can assert is this one display, is this displayed. You can assert the person if an element is available, if so different things that you can actually do on the page. So for instance, if I go into my page object now, let's say this error message, and I can say error message. I can check if it is enabled. That is one. If it, I can check for the attributes. I can check for the properties. I can check if it's selected. If it's, I can check the text. I can, so depending on what you are looking to do. So and in terms of that, so then so different things I can do also. So that will be it on the validation. So a quick assignment is now to validate that when you enter your name, you validate that this particular text has your name, and also validate this text also. So I think we'll be able to validate this text, validate this particular text. Then also fill in all the forms. We finish everything and some validate you actually see this, and then also validate you are seeing the same URL also. Then another thing I want to also say to you quickly is to say that you can also validate that URL content equal or something. So for instance, if I go into step, I can say dot contains. So I can actually say, okay, my URL should contain something. So let's want to say it should contain blue sky. So, and what am I asserting? Okay, so I need to change that to string. Inspector. Okay, let's choose from the assertion. Okay, so that will be our URL. Okay. Okay. I think with assertion is not actually with NUnit assertion that doesn't actually work out or need to look into why. So, but you can see with Fluent, to be honest, that's more of what I use actually because the context is really, really great. So, which I'm also going to just add that my URL contains blue sky or vice versa, and I can say that this what is going to return from here. Um, should not contain blue sky. So depending, but this is what you would naturally do anyway, to say, it contains blue sky, or if you want to confirm that, to say maybe you don't want to pass it as arguments, you want to say equal to URL coming from your string here, basically. So, so let's try to run this and see if that will pass. So any question before we go into the weight? Okay, so that failed. So let's see why that failed. Just expected. Okay, expected and to contain blue sky. Okay, which is fine because it's expecting this, but I actually found I'm expecting blue sky with capital B and capital S. So that, I think that's why that actually failed. So and I think I put S in there. So you can just be, whatever you want to validate, you can validate on your code. So there are different things that you can validate on the, if you're used to manual testing, so anything that you can validate using your manual testing, you can validate code actually. Now I want to validate that this particular element is there, it contains this particular item, or it contains this particular text, anything whatsoever, or you want to show that the element is displayed, is present, is enabled. So basically anything. So to do